Welcome back, guys. We are at Genesis chapter 4. This is Rose. I am doing a virtual Bible study. Again, if you didn't watch the first video, I just simply explained that God is releasing me to do this because nowadays we only have like midweek services, or we have Bible study, but Bible study, turns into basically another service. So nobody is actually teaching real Bible. Like, you're not actually digging into the word and breaking down verse by verse, or I'm not going to break it down verse by verse, but I'm going to just try to give you an understanding in Ebonics. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do, is make it easier for people to see what the Bible is trying to say, because it's not as deep as people think it is. It's not that hard to read. Again, I'll stumble over words. Some of the words are hard to pronounce, but I'm going to try to give you a clear understanding as best as I can. We are at Genesis 4. I'm reading from the New International Version. Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. So you got Cain and Abel. Now Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." So here, God is basically saying that, okay, it's two brothers. One of them did an offering, the other did an offering, but God showed favor to one brother. So that other brother was upset, and he's telling him, "Why are you upset? Am I not going to reward you also? Just because I showed favor to him don't mean that your season won't come." So a lot of times we get so wrapped up in somebody else's season happening that we want to be jealous and hateful towards them, not realizing that our season is to come too. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Now Cain said to his brother Abel, this is verse 8, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" So he just checked God, like, "What do you mean? Why are you asking me about my brother? I'm not his keeper." Then Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." So now he's saying to him, basically, no matter how much you try to plant fruit or sow seeds, nothing is going to happen for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you have driven me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer, and whoever finds me will kill me." But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one would find him and kill him. So Cain went from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mijael, and Mijael was the father of Methuel, and Methuel was the father of Lamech. Lamech married 2 women, one named Ada and the other Zillah. So I want to pause here at verse 20 just for a second, because I do want to capture the fact that even though Cain killed Abel, God still showed him some type of favor and made sure that nobody can kill him. He put a mark on him so that nobody can touch him, which is amazing to me, because even though he committed murder, God still showed him love. He still showed him favor. And we sometimes count ourselves out for small things other than murder. We count ourselves out because we disrespected somebody, or because we hurt somebody, because we broke somebody's heart, or because we turned from God. But this here is a man that killed his own brother, and God still made sure that nobody could touch him. So, okay, verse 20. Adah gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who lived in tents and raised livestock. His brother's name was Jabal. He was the father of who played stringed instrument and pipes. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Namiah. Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, "Listen to me, wives of Lamech. Hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times." Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son and named him Seth, saying, "God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him." Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the Lord. Okay. So we're going on to chapter 5. This is the written account of Adam's family line. When God created mankind, he made them in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them, and he named them mankind when they were created. When Adam had lived 130 years, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image, and he named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived a total of 930 years, and then he died. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. After he had become the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived a total of 912 years, and then he died. Then it tells you a little bit more about the lineage and the sons, and how many kids they had, and then they all died. They all were very fruitful and multiplied. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah and said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lamech lived a total of 777 years, and then he died. So now, Lamech gave birth to Noah, and he made it clear that he will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed. So he's basically saying that his son is going to bring comfort and cast out the curse that was placed on them. This is Noah. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So now we're hearing about Noah. When human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. So he gave them a lifespan at this point, 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward, when the Son of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old men of renown. The Lord said, how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. So they had become evil. All of their thoughts were evil thoughts. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So now, because they're so angry, God is saying that his feelings are hurt, and he's regretting making the human race. So the Lord said, I will wipe off the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground. For I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. So in the middle of all of this chaos, where he's getting ready to tear up everything, all the animals, the people, everything, Noah found favor in his eyes. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to end all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch out inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark. So he's going to save them. You and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to be kept alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and them. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. So, Noah already had found favor in God's eyes. Then he gave Noah clear instructions, and Noah went to carry out everything that he said that he would do. Then, also, he took into the ark with him his wife and his sons' wives. Also, different animals. He brought each animal, male and female, so that after everything was over, they would be able to reproduce. So now we're going on to Genesis 7. The Lord then said to Noah, go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. And Noah did all of that the Lord commanded him. Again, he's being obedient. He's listening to every single thing that God is telling him to do. No matter how crazy it sounds, I'm sure people were looking like, what is this man doing? He's building this big ark. He's taking all of these animals with him and his sons and his wives, and his wife is in his place. And I'm sure so many people doubted him, y'all. I'm sure so many people was like, okay, he's crazy. He's losing his mind. His wife and them is in there with him. They crazy too. They must be on drugs. They must be doing some crazy stuff. So a lot of times God tells us to do these things and we become disobedient because it doesn't sound like what we have planned, or it doesn't sound like it's going to make sense, or the people around us are doubting us, and we lose sight of what God is trying to do in us because we're so worried about everything around us. But Noah was obedient, and that is why he found favor in the eyes of God. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his son's wife entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female, came to Noah and entered the ark as God had commanded Noah. And after the 7 days, the flood waters came on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day, all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. And rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that very day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark. They had with them every animal according to his kind, all livestock according to their kinds, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings. Pairs of all creatures that had the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in were male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in. For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth. And as the waters increased, they lifted the ark above the earth. So now the ark is floating. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The water rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Every living thing that moved on land perished: birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that moved along the ground and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. So that is the end of this segment, guys. The next segment will be Genesis 8 through 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, if I didn't cover something, feel free to comment. My Facebook name is Rosa B. Martin. If you want to come on there and add me and follow my work. I'm really excited about this. I love Bible study. I love getting this knowledge from the Bible. I love helping people understand it because, like I said, it's not that deep. People make it so hard, and all you got to do is just sit down and try to concentrate and understand what God is trying to tell you through these words. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, and I'll be back.